6:49 now. This is your morning in 8 minutes. A couple is lucky to be alive after surviving a plane crash in Blount County.
Investigators searching for that plane today. The sheriff's office says a pilot and his wife crashed in the Chilhowie Mountains in Wallen Sunday afternoon. Both are okay. Officials say they walked for a while to get out of the woods and went to the hospital to get checked out. They were on board a small two-seater plane. We've reached out to the FAA to learn more, but haven't heard back as of this morning.
Right now, we're learning more about a shooting in Chattanooga that left 6 people hurt. The 6 victims were teenagers ranging from ages 13 to 15, according to police. 2 of them are still in critical condition. The city's mayor says he believes the shooting stemmed from an altercation between other teenagers. Police have not arrested anyone yet. And right now, the TWRA says 1 person is dead following a boating accident on South Holston Lake in Sullivan County in Upper East Tennessee. Officials say a deck boat collided with a personal watercraft. Crews took the 2 people on the watercraft to the hospital. 1 died. The other has serious injuries. Officials say they were both wearing life jackets. Everyone else is okay. And water rescue crews were busy all across East Tennessee over the long weekend.
And the Knox County Rescue Team tells us they had an especially busy week, which unfortunately means people have been in danger. They responded yesterday to a water rescue after 7 kayakers were stranded off the side in the French Broad River. Thankfully, all were rescued and no one needed any medical attention. This is the 8th water rescue that Knox County crews were called to over the long weekend.
Meanwhile, police in Georgia say an arrest has been made in a deadly riverboat crash in Savannah. 5 people were killed and several more were injured after 2 boats collided. State officials say 1 man was arrested for boating under the influence. The crash remains under investigation.
Taking a look around the nation, funerals will be held today for 2 of the victims of last week's deadly school shooting in Uvalde.
Amerie Jo Garza and Mady Rodriguez were both just 10 years old, killed in their classroom 1 week ago. Visitation was held yesterday for the girls at a funeral home just steps from Robb Elementary. That's where the gunman initially began shooting before his attack on the school. A push to tear down the school is gaining momentum, including from the city's mayor. In Washington, the debate over gun control continues. A bipartisan group of senators is meeting over Zoom today to search for common ground.
Jury deliberations resume today in the Johnny Depp-Amber Heard defamation trial. The case centers on a 2018 op-ed in which Heard described herself as a domestic abuse survivor. The op-ed didn't mention her ex-husband, but Depp says the implication was clear and was based on lies. Heard told the court the article wasn't about Depp, but testified that he did actually abuse her. An evacuation order is in place this morning after this chemical fire in Omaha, Nebraska. Take a look. Explosions heard around 8 o'clock last night. So far, no one is hurt as crews continue to work through the morning to put those flames out. And the FDA investigating a hepatitis A outbreak possibly linked to organic fresh strawberries. There have been over a dozen cases in California, Minnesota, North Dakota, with at least a dozen people hospitalized. The packages of fresh Campo brand strawberries were sold in March and April at Walmart, Trader Joe's, and other stores. So far, no cases have been reported here in Tennessee.
And around East Tennessee today, multiple groups will be holding a vigil to honor the hundreds of workers who spent years cleaning up the 2008 Kingston coal ash spill.
It was the country's worst coal ash spill in history. Since then, hundreds of workers and families have filed lawsuits against the engineering company in charge of the cleanup, blaming Jacobs Engineering for illnesses and deaths they believe were caused by exposure to heavy metals and radioactive particles in the ash. Tomorrow, the Tennessee Supreme Court is scheduled to hear oral arguments in Jacobs' latest challenge against the lawsuits. You can read the full extent of the lawsuit right now in the WVLT News app. Tonight's vigil starts at 6 o'clock in Crouch Park. And tonight, City Council will vote on approving a new study of the Knoxville Police Department.
The study looks to analyze the climate and performance of the department. This comes as Chief Paul Noel is set to take his position on June 13th. If approved, consulting firm 21CP Solutions will complete an in-depth review of KPD that would recommend naming 3 deputy chiefs, a review of department policies and procedures, along with planning. Tonight's meeting starts at 6 o'clock in the City County building in downtown Knoxville. And WVLT proud to be the official station of the Vols. The Vols baseball team practicing today ahead of this weekend's regional series at Lindsey Nelson Stadium.
Tennessee facing Alabama State on Friday night. Georgia Tech and Campbell round out the 4 regional teams that'll play here in Knoxville. They'll play Friday afternoon at noon. If the Vols win this weekend, they'll host again in the Super Regionals for a chance to head to Omaha in the College World Series. Tickets for the game on Friday sold out right now, but standing room tickets will be available about 90 minutes before first pitch. We got all the information you need about this weekend's regional right now in the WVLT News app.
And if you're on campus tonight, heads up, Beatles legend Sir Paul McCartney is having a concert inside Thompson Bowling Arena. You can expect some major traffic delays around the area tonight. Parking lots open at 4 o'clock. That concert starts at 8 o'clock. We have parking information if you're going right now inside the WVLT News app.
Is there going to be problems from noise, just from you screaming, or what's going to be the deal?
Lots of screaming, probably tears. It's going to be very exciting. And getting a look at your traffic right now, crews still on the scene of this incident on I-275 right near Baxter Avenue. The northbound right lane is blocked, but it is not slowing you down if you're headed through this area. Those 2 left lanes are blocked. Just be mindful of those crews on the right side. Again, just getting out the door, we're not seeing any major delays. That volume is still light. Want to show you a live look. This is I-40 at Watt Road. Barely any cars on the road if you're just now getting out the door to start off your Tuesday.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Heather Haley.
Apparently a lot of folks are on vacation, so if you're staycationing and you've got some things you need to do, keep in mind that we only have stray downpours and storms popping up. Where it rains, it pours, but it's only a 10% coverage of our area today and tomorrow until the cold front brings in better coverage of our area in rain and storms, especially Thursday afternoon to evening. So rainfall wise, stray 1/4 of an inch today, tomorrow. Now we spread out that 1/4 to a 1/2 an inch with that front. Late Thursday into Friday morning, it becomes spotty. That's where you see some bands here in these blues of about a 1/2 an inch, parts of the valley, foothills, up into the mountains, southeastern Kentucky. Good 1/10 to a 1/4 of an inch on the plateau, and then you see where it flares up to that 60% coverage of our area in rain and storms by Thursday. So right now we're on the warm, humid side. Just stray pop-ups. Right now it's 68 in Knoxville, there's that dip, 63 Kingston to Maynardville, 66 in Clark Range to 59 Sneedville. Beautiful blue sky and passing clouds. That's the story all day. Just those clouds are absorbing the humidity and creating stray pop-ups later. Right now we're seeing the humidity with this band of fog through parts of Knox County, up at the Tennessee-Kentucky line from Campbell to Claiborne, Bell to Harlan, through Union and Knox. In your planner for today, just make sure you take some extra water with you. Still need that sunscreen, got to reapply on these hot, sweaty days. It'll be 83 at noon with your high today of 89. Again, we got a couple of days before those better rain chances. We've got a few days before those temperatures get knocked back down to normal behind that cold front to end the week.
All right, Heather, thank you. Before we go, Whitney, what Paul McCartney song do you need to hear to just scream, break off the roof?
Maybe I'm Amazed. I really need to hear that.
All right, we hope he plays it. Paul, if you're watching this morning, maybe I'm amazed. We'll see you on WBXX.